Hey, Super Cruisers, it's Kevin and Frank from Cruising with Wheels.
And today it's all about not making bad cruise decisions.
Today we have the top 10 bad decisions that may ruin your cruise. This is exactly why we get so many questions about cruising. People are so afraid that they're gonna make a big time bad decision that might ruin their cruise.
Yeah, I mean, if you're on vacation, you've waited maybe a year or whatever to go on this cruise, you've spent the money, you're psyched up. You don't want to make any decisions that's gonna ruin that.
So let's get started on our list.
Right.
The biggest mistake that I can think of is not reading your cruise contract. Now, I know that this is something before you're cruising, but it will or it might affect your cruise.
Right.
Right? So read every little fine detail. You want to make sure that you're covered for all of your needs.
That's right. You want to know what's ahead of you and what your rights are and what the cruise line is allowed to do and what you're not allowed to do.
Correct.
One of the things the biggest thing that we get, and because this is your answer, read your cruise contract, is when the cruise line does a port itinerary change. And the person is like, I wanted to go to that port. This is why I picked that cruise. I can't believe we're not going there. They made a change to another port, and I want my money back. And what's your answer?
You should have read your cruise contract.
Right.
Because every cruise contract will say that ports are subject to change. What's next on our list?
Next on the list is you picked the wrong out-of-season month to cruise, and the weather is not what you were looking for.
Well, it's your own fault.
I know. Do your research.
Now, you need to do your research, but maybe they picked that time because it was cheaper.
Right.
But then you have to expect that the weather is not going to be what you wanted.
If you're like Darlene and you are the sun goddess and you are all about beach, sun, and sand, you want to make sure you are going to get beach, sun, and sand. Pick the right month to go.
That's a big, big cruise ruiner. Next on our list is you do not have the proper travel documents, such as ID or cruise docs. I am so fed up with, do I need a passport?
I know. And I am so obsessed and anal retentive about the IDs and the cruise documents. You should see before we lock the door and get in the car.
Do you have this? Do you have this? Do you have this? Do you have this? Do you have this?
And it's not just
and then we're in the car.
Yeah, and it's not just yes I do. It's show me. I'm from the show me state of Missouri. I want to see. You show me the passports. You got your wallet. You got your this. I want to see them. Right? You got everything? Okay. And I'm in the car, right? And I'm still going through my tote bag and I'm touching my binder. And I'm like, yep, there are the cruise documents. There's a cruise ticket. I don't know. I'm so obsessed. I'm afraid we're going to forget something. Is there something wrong with us?
Yes, there's something wrong with you. What's next up on our list?
You pick the worst cabin mate to share the cruise with.
I think I might have done that.
No. You're like, oh, I want to go with my best friend from work. And it turns out your best friend from work is a nightmare. Or you pick a relative. Or you pick a spouse.
Unfortunately, in most cases, you won't know that they're the worst cabin mate until you've cruised with them.
You don't know someone till you live with them.
Right. But it's a possibility, people.
What's next?
You drink too much, act out, cause a fight, and get tossed off the ship.
Seen it.
Now, I don't even want to go there. I can just say, well, all those things could happen, and it would definitely ruin your cruise.
Yeah.
But I think even if you drink too much, it could ruin your cruise.
You don't want to be a falling down, embarrassing drunk.
You don't want to get home and people say, how was the cruise, and you can't remember.
That'll be I guess it was good. Why? Well, I was drunk most of the time. Yeah. And then it's just, I say, it's not a good look. Now, next on the list is don't get caught smoking in your cabin or on your balcony.
And that doesn't mean be careful about
Right.
doing it. That means don't do it.
Don't do it. Fire is one of the biggest issues on a cruise ship. It's the scariest thing ever.
And I don't care if we're talking about cigarettes,
Right.
cigars, pot, anything.
No smoking.
No smoking,
No, if
period,
you are
in your
caught-
cabin or on your balcony.
People think, oh, I'm out smoking, I'm outside, no one will know, and you're tossing the butts. There's blowback from the breeze. That lit cigarette's going to come back in. You imagine being on a ship that catches on fire? It's happened.
The last one that I heard about was someone was smoking on their balcony,
Yeah.
flicked it off. It came right back in 2 decks below, set the drapes on fire, burned the cabin. It's not a good thing.
No, it's
It
bad.
is not a good thing. You have a death wish. But in addition to that, it might ruin your coming home.
Yeah, right.
Because you will be fined
Yeah.
a fee. You'll be assessed a fee to clean the room.
It ain't free.
And it ain't cheap. And
They're going to leave you with the port.
if you caused an issue, such as made a fire, you could be arrested.
Yeah.
And the Port Authority will take
Right.
you in. So next on our list is you lose track of time in port and the ship leaves you behind.
Oh, Lord.
I think that's the worst.
Oh, you've seen the pier runners.
You've seen it?
Oh, you don't want to be a member of that club.
Speaking of that, we have a new T-shirt
Is that a
design
segue?
that
Was I-
actually says Pier Runners Club.
I know.
It's so cute.
Promotion number 1. That's right.
Shameless plug, shameless plug.
Go to our Teespring site and order your Pier Runners Club T-shirt.
There
but
is
seriously,
a link in the description, but you can also hit any of the T-shirts that are on the Teespring shelf.
Don't be late for the ship.
Yeah, don't be late. Don't be late. Don't rely on your cell phone. Get yourself an old-fashioned watch.
That's right.
And set it to the ship's time.
Ship time. Remember that. Ship time.
What's next on our
home in
list?
New York time. Next on the list is this is one of the things that'll set you off. You bring your kids with you, and they are a nightmare for you and everybody else on the ship.
Well, you know what I always say. Leave the kids at home. But
If
I
not,
get families want to go on a vacation.
Then bring your well-mannered kids with
Right.
you.
Right.
Okay? We paid for our cruise just like everyone else. Your children should not be, quote, running amok and
Right.
abusing passengers and crew.
And
Who's that?
you know, people that watch us might not think we have children. There are children here, 3.
3.
Not here, but they were well behaved, and if they weren't, they suffered the consequences. So, I'm just saying,
Yeah.
little good parenting
Yes.
goes a long way.
The cruise ship is not your daycare center. The
Yep.
other thousands of passengers are not your babysitter. The crew,
I was
not
just-
your babysitter.
I was just going to say, and you know who you are, but
Yeah.
you really probably don't.
No, you're clueless,
So-
which is why you let your kids run amok.
Anyways, another thing that could ruin your cruise majorly
Yeah.
is you don't put your cell phone in airplane mode and it's receiving calls or texts and you get home and your bill is the size of your mortgage.
Right. Oh,
yeah.
boy.
Or you haven't checked with your cell phone provider and you just assume that it's going to be okay.
Never good to
because
assume.
our cell phone provider, I can use our phone in port, but not on the ship. If it connects to that ship cell phone tower, woo-wee.
Woohoo.
I mean,
Double
I've
mortgage.
made that mistake.
Yeah. It's under the heading
And it-
of live and learn.
And it was like, it wasn't for the whole trip. It was like for the first day.
So if you're watching us, learn now
Learn.
and don't pay later.
And finally,
You pack. This one kills me because it happens. Okay, it's the last night. You're packing up all your clothes because you're leaving, the next morning. Okay, but you pack all your clothes, right? And you put your luggage outside in the hallway. Okay, it has to be out by a certain time because they're going to collect all the luggage and they're going to load it downstairs in the ship, cargo. And when you get into port, it all goes to the cruise terminal, right? So you've done that. You're like, oh, honey, see you in the morning. I'm so tired and sad. And you get up and you're like, oh, my God, I did not leave any clothes out to wear today. I packed everything.
Going home in your pajamas.
Now, you're lucky enough.
Hopefully you have pajamas.
You're in pajamas.
Hopefully.
And you don't sleep in the nude. But you've packed all your clothes. You've got no clothes. You've got no shoes. I don't know what you were thinking, but it has happened.
I did this. I think I did this on one of the cruises, but not. We didn't pack. What I failed to leave out was my shoes. And I think I got a pair of cheap flip-flops to go home in, or maybe my flip-flops were still out.
Maybe.
And, you know, for somebody that's traveling in the Caribbean in January where it's like 85 degrees, coming back home to -10 in flip-flops is not the prime experience.
Snowy Rochester, New York, it's not good.
So needless to say, we do that check multiple times
Yes.
too.
Do I have my shoes, my socks, my underwear? I'm dressing. I always dress myself in my mind from my feet up. Shoes, socks, underwear, pants, shirt, coat, whatever. That's how my mind works from the bottom up. Crazy, huh? Hey, I get off the ship with clothes on.
This place is a scary place to be. Now I know people watching this would say, who would do any of this? But it does happen.
No, it does. I want to thank you for joining us for another hopefully fun and exciting video. Remember, don't just watch our videos. Hit that subscribe button and become a regular Cruising with Wheels family YouTube member.
Don't be a ding-a-ling. Hit that bell and you'll get regular notifications of when our videos go live and when we go live every other Sunday. Also, check us out on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat. And remember to always
Travel safe
and cruise often.